Welcome back to the news. This is still News Today on Aqua Television, and I am Ogochukwu. Now, in 1 week, just 1 week, Nigeria has witnessed alarming levels of violence. 25 schoolgirls abducted in Kebbi, worshippers killed and kidnapped in Kwara, soldiers ambushed, and multiple communities under attack. This incident raised serious questions about the evolving nature of insecurity, the capacity of our security architecture, and urgent need for a coordinated national response. And to discuss this issue, I've been joined by Nnamdi Obayna, economic and political correspondent. Good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Thank you so much for joining me. Now let's get straight into the conversation. Beyond the headlines, beyond everything we see, what can we attribute these issues, these attacks to? What can we call the root cause of this attack?
It's very easy. It's government incompetence and ineptitude. And there's also the possibility of elements within the government, within security infrastructure being complicit. Now, while there is no overwhelming and direct evidence, you have to look at how easily these things happen, how much impunity there is, and the lack of consequences for these actions. That lets you know that over and over again, there is somewhere where, somebody is putting their thumb on the scale and rigging this in favor of the insurgents. Because, look at it. We are hearing afterwards that there were intelligence reports recently for the kidnap of the girls in Kebbi. And that despite that intelligence reports, nothing was done and the girls were kidnapped. This takes me back to Chibok girls, where there were reports that they said that there were insecurity reports, but they told the girls to still go and write the exams, and those girls were kidnapped from school. So you have a situation where, the students now are the collateral damage because of somebody playing games. And while all this is going on, while things are happening, rather than, tell us line of action, the government is playing propaganda games. President Tinubu has not addressed the nation. No state of emergency has been declared. All we see is newspaper reports of service chiefs have been told to step up. We've not seen the service chiefs give address. We've not seen any serious, like wartime cabinets. Because whether we like it or not, we are at war. We have theaters of war all over the country. We are at war, even if it's within the country, with people who have invaded us. Now, we're not seeing any serious war cabinet. We're not seeing any strategic plan to attack this. What we are saying is, don't let America come. They're more interested in, telling lies. I see these clowns online. These people, many of whom are from the Buhari government, and some are still members of the APC close to this government. We have clowns. I get so frustrated when I see people like Bashir Ahmad, who was supposedly an SSA on digital, whatever, for President Buhari, coming out, to the point where we've started seeing artificial intelligence rendered pictures and videos to discredit actual events. We saw the church in Kwara, an AI version has been circulated to claim that the video is AI. Yeah. The Christians that were killed there in Benue, the coffins were altered to look like they were empty. It's disgusting that propaganda is more important than human life. You're angry that people are calling some people Islamic terrorists and they are killing Christians because you're a Muslim. Your problem is not that people are dying. Your problem is that, these people should not be accused because we're of the same religion. Yeah. That tells me that you either do not care about some people or you approve. Yeah. And in Bashir Ahmed's case, he's on record for calling himself for self-identifying as an extremist and also saying he believes in the death penalty for blasphemy. When Deborah was stoned and burnt alive in Sokoto for allegedly making a blasphemous content. So this is the country we have to live in. You have Sheikh Gumi, who went to Turkey, is currently talking from different locations saying that we should negotiate with bandits because they have areas they control and they can help us fight ISWAP. Okay. What are we talking about?
So now in all of this that we've seen, just like you mentioned, the president hasn't said anything. We're not seeing any actual work being done. Can we say, what can we call this nature of insecurity? Can we say it's an organized something? Just like, the popular, should I call it a quote or a phrase that says that if a country is under attack and within 24 hours the government does not do anything, it means that the government's hand is in it. So can we apply that phrase in this situation?
The irony is that statement was made here in Nigeria by former head of state Sani Abacha. Yeah. That's the irony, because he knows. He was the head of state. He knows. Look, these things are coordinated. They are well organized. They are well planned. A lot of people in government have been involved. Kabiru Sokoto was arrested in Borno State government house. He was being treated for injuries after he escaped. At that point in time, the current VP was governor of Borno. You know, he was, so we've seen things like this over and over again. We've seen, like we have Lieutenant Colonel Dauda, we had General Ihejirika. You've seen people who were fighting Boko Haram, and once they are performing, Ihejirika was removed. Dauda, who Operation Safe Haven, he had gotten a hold of that access, that's Akwanga in Nasarawa, Kaduna to Forest in Plateau before you enter Kuru, then Jos in Plateau. What was supposedly, that road that goes through Nasarawa, southern Kaduna, was supposedly one of the most dangerous roads. He had gotten a hold of it, then he was removed, and chaos returned. It's almost as if this is government-endorsed chaos. We saw the young lady in the Air Force who was accidentally killed by a colleague who wanted to say hello in the Air Force base. It always seems as if when we have performing military people, they are removed. Okay, look at Brigadier General Uba now, killed. A brigadier. Do you know what a brigadier is? Do you know how large a brigade is? Do you know how many companies? This guy had thousands of soldiers under his command. He gave his coordinates to military command, and the terrorists got the coordinates. I saw something stupid today where they said, you should blame Sahara reporters, you should blame nonsense. There are people within the military architecture that are complicit, because there is no way that secure communication from General Uba to his high command should have been intercepted by terrorists. We've had situations where soldiers have been caught, smuggling weapons and ammunition to Boko Haram. Exactly. We've seen military being told to cease fire when they had a chance to kill insurgents or drive them out. We have drones that have not yet mapped Sambisa forest. And we are claiming that we have the same drones that can stay in the air for 27 hours.
Exactly.
We are being told that we have those drones and we never map. I mean, let us stop lying to ourselves. People are more interested in thematics of don't call it Christian genocide, call it farmer headers. Don't call them terrorists, call them bandits. So is that what is important? That's the real question. And they're saying we should bring Nigerian solutions to Nigerian problems. And my question becomes, what if the problem is Nigeria itself? How do you solve it?
Okay, someone would ask this question, what exactly is the need for this? What are they demanding? What are they asking? If we see this continue to happen, different types, different styles of, attack, what exactly is the demand?
And that's a very good question, because if you look at all the theaters of war, when we had the Oduduwa separatists by Sunday Igboho, what they wanted was Oduduwa nation. When you have the IPOB agitators, what they're saying is we are being marginalized, we want to secede. You had the Niger Delta militants, what do they want? Control of their own resources. ISWAP, these so-called bandits, all these terrorists, ISIS, apparently as at last count, according to intelligence in the US, we have over 22 separatist groups operating in the north, not in Nigeria. Now, these groups want to create an Islamic caliphate in Nigeria. They've said it. It's not me saying it. So that means to say that anybody who is not going to convert should be wiped out. So when you come out and deny Christian genocide, when there's an unchecked and ever-growing, radical Islam extremist, well-armed terrorist organization that is moving through cattle headers, moving through our margeries, moving through well-armed militias, well-equipped. An RPG costs tens of thousands of dollars, sophisticated ones. They are using them. They are using drones. They have brand new pickup trucks. Who is buying? These things have VIN numbers. You can track who is paying, who is buying it.
Exactly.
All of them seem to have buying motorcycles. You see them going through town. You see hundreds of bikes. We're seeing in Katsina, they are meeting with, They are meeting with bandits and having, I hate that word, they're meeting with terrorists and having meetings, so-called peace talks, days after. In fact, there's one that's so funny that one of the government officials who was at the meeting was among those who was killed not long after. Or was it the one in Zamfara where they were turbaning a radical Islamic terrorist leader, a wanted man, and a local government chairman was present at the ceremony? Who are we deceiving? What they want is the creation of a caliphate. They've said it. This is not Nnamdi Obayna saying it. They've said their intentions. And, people are saying it has a political angle because we look at the words of our leaders, past and present. You look at the words of Ahmadu Bello that the nation must be an estate of our great-grandfather, Usman Dan Fodio. Usman Dan Fodio's agenda was to dip the Quran into the Atlantic Ocean. It was jihad across Nigeria. So anybody who is telling you that we should stop saying jihad, we should stop saying Christian genocide. And, okay, if you don't want to say Christian genocide, you want to say jihad. What is jihad? Jihad is the elimination of kafirs, of infidels, of those who are not going to be Muslims. You will either pay the heavy taxes and be mistreated or be killed. So what we need to understand what they are saying. America is telling us, defining for us what we are doing, and we are saying it is not what it is. Okay, what is it? Somebody says farmer headers clash. So when
Different names,
so
just
when
to
were those
suit.
girls farmers?
Exactly.
When the churches in Plateau, the churches in Kwara, were they farming inside the church? Did cows enter the church? We knew the next they say, oh, Muslims are being killed too. And that's the part I hate. And I want us to be very clear about this. If I say in a town, on a campus, we have a problem with cultism. That cultism is spoiling the campus.
Yeah.
There are too many cult boys. They are doing too many things, extortion, killings. Don't say that too. There's also rape. There's also theft. The presence of other crimes and the presence of other criminals does not negate the presence of one existing crime.
One.
So let us stop doing this. No, don't say it. There's also Muslims being killed. No, I say Muslims are not being killed. A lot of times, Muslims being killed are people who are refusing to, get on board with this nefarious act. Other times, it is just subjugation of a community to turn their young boys into your members and to turn your young girls into their wives and slaves. So let us stop saying as if it is not what it is. And let us address it honestly.
All right, now, so how do we solve our problems as a nation? Is it time to, look at decentralizing security and, looking at maybe regional policing at this particular time?
Regional policing, most people are afraid of it, and I don't blame them. They are afraid that, governors will become overlords in their own states. Okay. You will not be able to control a government. But everything has a check and balance. First and foremost, you have police departments. Police departments are run at local government level and are funded. So that means that the governor has no business with the DPOs. The DPOs will be relating to their local government chairman. And the heads of police stations will be talking to councillors. Then you will now have the state police. The state police is now your state police department. That's the one the governor relates to with your police commissioner. Those ones can move in between local government chairmen. Then you will now have your federal police. In some countries, they are federal marshals. In the US, FBI. But you have local government, state, federal police. All of them have their jurisdiction. If a thief runs from Enugu into Anambra, federal police can step in. If a thief runs from Oji River, into Ezagu, immediately state police can step in. But within Ezagu Police Department is able to handle security there. And every local government chairman knows what his priorities are. And if he feels my community is safe, my neighborhood watch is enough, he can decide to reduce his security budget. But if you think you need more security, increase your security budget, allow more state security to be around, the security architecture will balance itself. Because right now we're talking about lack of police, but we had enough police to go and secure Wadata Plaza for PDP. See the tens of policemen, the police vehicles, sophisticated. Every time there's NSAS protest or remembrance of NSAS protest or obedient, you will see the gear, the tear gas, everything. Where is all this when insurgents are moving? Where is all this when churches are being attacked? Where is that?
We also saw military men being ambushed and attacked just because they wanted
to go and rescue the girls. How did they get that intelligence that military men were going to use a specific route? This is what let us be honest. For us to solve this problem first and foremost, you see that's how the same people they couldn't fight. We've been seeing details every day of we've killed these bandits today. We've killed them. Why? Because America has opened their mouth and talked. International community is talking. Suddenly everybody is shaking. Their global legitimacy is on the line. They can freeze foreign accounts where they've kept money, things like that. That's what is really worrying some people, personal interest. So you need to hit them where it hurts. You need to hit finances, you need to hit money, you need to garnish accounts of senators, governors, everybody. Do things that will make them sit up first. Secondly, about decentralizing security, you're very right. We need to do that. If you look at now, particularly here in the Southeast, all of us are more conversant and comfortable with our local neighborhood security and neighborhood watch. Why? Sure. These guys are from the neighborhood. There are people in there. They know the people there. They know the strange faces. Imagine if you have state police and within your local government, your community, all the policemen there. If the policeman starts taking bribe and intimidating young people, you can go to his auntie's house. Sure. These are the things that we need to do. Decentralize it. Yes, there will be check and balance, federal, state level, but it needs to be very, very, very decentralized. So everybody knows the real. When you bring a policeman from Zamfara and put him at 9th Mile, he doesn't know the people. He doesn't know them. It's not that he's a bad person, but the nuance and customs are alien to him, and people can use shortcuts and move around that you don't know. You brought in policemen that are not from that area. You say, they're policemen. Yeah, but this man spent 10 years in Bauchi, this one 10 years in Zamfara, this one 8 years in Oyo. You brought them. For their first 1 year in 9th Mile, they don't know what's going on. So you need people who know the region and know what to do. All right. That's the honest truth.
In 1 minute, I'd like to know your take. And, we've had different stories. People had a lot of conspiracies going on that, Tinubu, as I said, Tinubu, Trump coming into Nigeria is for another. He has a different, mindset. He has something he wants from Nigeria, not necessarily saving Nigeria from terrorists. So what's your take on that?
They also said that IPOB is pressuring them because somebody linked to IPOB put a letter in 2024 about it. As far back as 2020, Trump had already put Nigeria as a country of grave concern. It was 2020, his first administration. Let us not get it wrong. Trump had already looked at Nigeria as a problem. Since then, he had really realized that the APC was up to no good since 2020. And when I say he realized the APC was up to no good, not me indicting them, but because he knew how his own political opponents in the US had put them in office, and through the means they put them in. He understands the lengths they are willing to go to do anything. You say Trump is looking for your mineral resources. I'm not going to say whether he's not. I'm going to ask one question. Okay. What are you getting from the mineral resources?
Exactly.
Who is
the common man is not gaining anything.
The common man does not care. He'd rather be alive. I'm not getting mineral resources and I'm not safe. Somebody wants to come, make me safe. The mineral resources I'm not getting. If you take it, you should take it. That's their business. But that of course is fabrication, and because they can take it without having to come, without having to do this. Our leaders are corrupt enough. Give them deals, they will hand over our Commonwealth.
Everything.
We're already paying crude, using our crude to pay debt of things we did not enjoy. People bought bulletproof Land Cruisers and Hilux, and we're paying the bill for it. So I'll throw all that talk out the window.
All right. Thank you so much for your insight.